I'm going to make you my pork fritters, which are really, really delicious. Lots of porky flavour. I almost call them my pork donuts because they're fried like a donut. I don't have the hole in them, but I don't have the jam in them, but we could put tomato sauce.
I love that if there's anyone who could put pork into a fritter, it's Richo.
You better believe it. Now, I'm going to get started. I've got some Australian pork mince here. I've got about 400 grams. You can have as much or as little as you want, but that's about the right amount for you and I to eat, maybe a little bit more. I'm going to get started on my onions, spring onions, chilli and coriander. I'm going to get you to grate the carrot. I've got some ginger and some garlic as well, if you can microplane that nice and fine. This is all about adding lots of flavour to the actual fritter. So if you've got all these ingredients in with the pork, they just add flavour and make it even more delicious. Now, this is a red onion. I'm using half a red onion and slicing it nice and thin, and that way it's sort of like chunky all the way through it.
Delicious.
You liking that?
Texture.
Exactly,
I'm
texture.
loving this too. I'm loving the fact there's a veggie going in.
Well, you like to put lots of veggies in there, so I'm going to meet you halfway by whacking lots of veggies in there as well. And one of the things I like about carrot is it makes it sweet.
I tend to add zucchini to stuff like this because it doesn't have a flavour, so I just chuck it into everything. But yeah, you can add sweetness with carrot.
Exactly. In goes the spring onion, and you can see it's nice and chunky. Some coriander. A lot of people don't like coriander, so if you don't like coriander, bad luck. Mine's
Go
got
home.
it in. Go home.
Go home.
But I've got plenty of coriander in here as well.
Am I putting this in?
Throw it in.
Beautiful.
And chilli.
Gosh.
Now, this is a long red chilli, and I just slice it all the way through like that, and you can take the seeds out if you want. Pretty easy to do. You can do it with a knife, or you can just run a teaspoon down the inside of the chilli, and that will remove all the seeds. The seeds are the hot part, so if you want to remove all the heat, well, then take the seeds out of it.
No, I would leave the seeds in.
You would?
I love a bit of heat.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm Indian.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Well, I like to take the seeds out so I can cut it into tiny little strips like this. In goes the chilli. You can chop it nice and fine. Now, I've got some baking powder here. I want to have a little bit of fluffiness, a little bit of lift, so I'll put about a teaspoon in there. I've got some cabbage here. You can use wombok, which is an Asian-style cabbage, or you can use these little bambinos, which are delicious. They've got a great little shape to them. I'll just cut that in half, and I like using cabbage.
So you're going to put that through the fritter?
We're going to whack it all in.
Nice.
Lots of veggies, lots of pork, so it's a nice, healthy meal. Now, if you can throw the garlic and ginger in there as well.
So that's flavour, beautiful.
And then smash those eggs in there as well, because we're going to have some eggs in there. We need to bind it all together. We'll make sure we get everything off the board here. In goes the eggs. And, of course, I'll grab this self-raising flour because we need something to bind it all together and make it nice and fluffy. I'll put about a cup of self-raising flour here. And you can see that I've gone really, really crazy, way too excited, and got a bowl here that is probably a little bit too small. But exactly, well, we'll see how we go. I've got some salt going in there because we love salt loves meat and meat loves salt. We need that going in there to give it flavour, and a good twist of pepper. And this is the fun part, Preeya. This is where I get into it with my hands and mix it all together. Like a nice sort of paste. It's like we've hidden all of the meat with the vegetables, so we're going to sneak that little bit of pork in there.
It looks beautiful. Looking at it, it looks quite glorious.
It does. Lots of rainbow colours,
Yes.
which is I know you love. Now, I'm just going to grab a piece off with my hand to start with because we'll get the first one in so I can show you. You just grab it here like this. I've got my oil that's already on. I've checked it with a thermometer so I know it's at the right temperature. And I just grab a little fritter, hold it like that. You can see it starting to bubble a little bit and let it go. If you're doing this at home, maybe you want to put the fritter onto a spoon and put it in there, but
you don't need a burn.
No.
I would say use a spoon.
Well, if I do burn myself, I'm lucky I've got a doctor present.
I can help you.
There's a doctor in the house, but here we go. In that goes like that. I'll do a couple of these and we'll make the dressing. Vinegar, soy sauce, some ginger garlic, coriander, spring onion. Beautiful.
Brilliant.
Preeya, have a look at that.
These look beautiful.
Nice and sort of like jagged edges, and they look fantastic, don't they?
Golden,
Lots
crispy.
Exactly, golden, crispy, lots of flavour. We've got the onion and garlic and chilli in there, but the pork is my favourite thing because it carries so much flavour. It is Australian pork, really, really important. We need to support Australian farmers.
Great.
And it just holds it together so well. So you've got meat and veggies all in one little ball. What do you think?
Can I add one little health benefit of pork, which is that it's really high in iron and often really lean, so you get a lot of iron in with pork, just the little...
And very delicious as well.
Yes, correct, and delicious, of course.
And we just need a sprinkle of salt over the top of it because salt loves meat, meat loves salt. There is meat in here, so we want to make sure that it tastes really good.
Sprinkle.
There we go, and a little in the devil's eye as well. Now, this is how I would normally serve these pork fritters when I'm at home. I'll just grab a few. I'd put a few on a plate here like this, and I would normally serve it with some lettuce like this. So we tear off a bit of lettuce. And this is what I do, Preeya. I'll grab some of the lettuce, I'll grab one of these pieces of pork, a little bit of coriander here, I'll pop that in there as well, and then I'll put some dressing on it like that. And it's sort of like a hamburger, like a pork hamburger, and you can hold it like that and take a little bite. It will be a little bit hot, so have a little.
Is this for me?
That's for you.
He's gifting me the first pork fritter.
You can have the first pork fritter, and if you're still all right after that, then I'll have my one.
Okay.
So hopefully it won't be too messy, but you just tear it off, and lettuce is really good. It gives it a nice bit of crunch, that extra bit of vegetable that we're always talking about putting in there. Tastes great, doesn't it?
This is glorious. It's such a beautiful combination of textures. You've got lots of crunch in there. There's some sweetness of the carrot. I love the freshness of the lettuce leaf. Like, it is deep fried, but you've got some freshness. I love it.
Crunch as well. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I love that you love it, and I think you think it's glorious. I think that's wonderful.
Well done, Richo.